I have a great idea,
But I'll
never do it. It might happen. Sure, the monkeys might fly out of my butt. I don't think so.
I don't see it happening.
Hey, it's me, Jon.
And me, Louise.
I don't know why I started by singing, because that is not something that I typically do. That's something that you do.
It's a new day. That is something I do.
Yeah. You are listening to I Have a Great Idea, But I'll Never Do It, the podcast where we talk about the great ideas that we have that we're never going to do. And they may sound great when we scribble them down on a piece of paper.
In the middle of the night.
In the middle of the night. I've been walking in my sleep, Billy Joel, singing songs that aren't very good. Anyway, Louise, how's it going?
Wait, are you referencing River of Dreams?
Yeah.
Okay, because that is actually a good song on an album that's not great.
Well, that's true. Okay. I'm not a Billy Joel fan. So,
Okay.
All right. I guess there's that. I remember that song being very successful and then listening to it kind of recently being like, oh, this is trash.
Okay, see, now I grew up next to a river and a mighty one at that. And and we should see when that song came out, but I was like, I'm being spoken to at the ripe young age of...
That came out in 93, so we were 10. It actually...
I was being spoken to by Mr. Joel at 10 years old.
Yeah, August 10th, 1993.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, well, totally unrelated. Let me just jump right in with an idea I had.
Jump right into it.
Let's just jump right in.
We have no time to not be jumping right in.
That's right. Come on. Important things are upon us. We have the AI to do whatever we want with it, and we shouldn't be scared of it, and we should use it to our benefit.
Okay.
Says me, totally unqualified to be speaking about it. However, I have a need, and it's an AI shopping preview that is the reverse of Wayback. Do you know what Wayback does?
No.
It's a thing on the internet where if you post something on the internet somewhere and then it gets taken down.
Oh, the Wayback Machine. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Then never mind. See, I know so much specific things that I'm the expert.
It's an archive.org component, which I don't even know if that exists in the same way anymore. But go ahead, Wayback.
It's the opposite of that. And it's an AI preview. If I get techie a little bit, because my husband's in tech and he talks to me and I absorb it and then change it.
He talks to you.
About tech, a company would put a feature flag on their website, which is basically like a curtain in front of a stage.
Okay.
And they're going to change the set behind the stage, even though the people talking in front of the curtain are the same people that you saw when the curtain was open, whatever.
Sure.
And then they open the curtain to like a new set or page. So websites, and I'm specifically talking about e-commerce shopping sites, they have to have taken all the pictures, created the copy, and put that information somewhere so that when they release or drop the next season or week of the season, that they just remove the feature flag and now like the website's live with like all of the new styles and colorways.
Okay.
I want that plugin AI preview. Specifically, I am in search of some high top tennis shoe boots.
Okay.
And a company that will not be named that I adore, but they're not sponsors.
We don't have sponsors.
No. But we would like them.
If you are a high top tennis shoe boot company and you want to sponsor the show, greatideapod@gmail.com.
We would love you to do that. But they used to make this specific shoe in bright white.
Okay.
And now it's on the sale section but only in like size 10, 11, 12. And I am not that size. I am
Sure.
smaller than that size. And the colorway that's available to me, that has been available since Black Friday, Dune Beige.
Dune Beige.
Now, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I keep thinking I want this specific shoe.
Okay.
Is there a possibility March, April, May that they're going to drop bright white on me? And I'm going to miss out on my size in Dune Beige if they don't drop a bright white.
Okay.
But, so it's like I don't want 2 pairs of high top sneaker boots. I want 1 pair, but I want that pair to be
the color that you want.
the color that I want.
That
And
isn't currently available. So
Yeah.
if I am interpreting what you're saying correctly, it is a predictive model that will, based on the company's previous releases, I guess what will be released when in the future.
Or maybe it just peeks in the keyhole.
Oh,
Of the locked door.
Naughty.
And maybe it can even be like a silly multiple choice. Like it's going to come in pale pink, bright white, black. You know, like just, and I have to see like, will I wait for one of those colors or do I settle for Dune Beige?
Don't settle for Dune Beige. You're not a
Yeah.
Dune Beige kind of gal.
And you know, now that I'm talking the words out loud to a person, it sounds like I don't want that shoe.
Dune Beige.
Dune Beige.
But you're just talking about an example right now.
That's an example.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
it could be other things.
Yeah.
Crystal Pepsi.
So
Will we get it again?
So it sounds like, you know, for AI, a predictive model makes a lot of sense. If you're talking about looking through the keyhole a little bit, that sounds like hacking. And
It
that's
sounds
a
like
different
it, but
tool.
we just need a PR spin on it.
Okay. All right.
I know. It's uncomfortable, but that's for the computers to deal with, not me.
That's for the computers to deal with. Okay, I like that. I don't do a lot of online shopping. First of all, because I don't have any money. And if you'd like to send me some, greatideapod@gmail.com. And I'll send you my address, and you can send me a briefcase, an attaché case full of stacks of unmarked bills and non-sequential. And anyway, so that I don't really use a lot of those types of tools that you're talking about. However, I do understand when there's a plugin or a kind of meter that says just like, hey, this is the lowest price this has been at since 2014. So now's probably a pretty good time to buy it. So like that, which isn't AI, it is just, software reading information, that I can totally get behind. And I think that's a really useful tool. There's also services like, I don't know, Honey is one of them where it's just like, okay, yeah, this is really, and that might actually be what I just described with that graph, but also the ability to see like, okay, yes, but on this other website, it costs less typically if you wait a little while. And they do that with also like airline tickets where it's just like, now's a good time to buy, wait a little bit, that type of thing, which I don't think that's AI. I think that's just software that understands the functions of, looking back in the history of these types of things. Promotions are a different story. I don't know how to kind of reconcile the idea of like a website promotion and how that would factor into the availability of goods in this case. But yeah, something to think about.
Something to think about. Or yeah, maybe it could just also like be a little bit like airline tickets. Like companies typically release brighter whites closer to Memorial Day. So if you don't want that, just wait. because that is a trend. I worry that the boots part of it and the Memorial Day part of it isn't going to jive because it's now not a boot but a flip flop.
I'm intrigued. Also, I'm having a hard time visualizing like what you're describing. I am visualizing like a Converse Chuck Taylor that just goes up higher than a high top would go.
I was going to say it's basically in idea like a Chuck.
Okay.
But winter. Incredibly lightweight, water resistant boot, but it's like a sneaker.
Wow.
Not like a trail boot like what Merrill would make or Sorrel. Mm-hmm. Not like that. That's a more substantial boot. Like, anyway, this is boring. Oh, God.
Okay.
Welcome back to Boot Chat.
Oh my God. Well, then let me ask you, what would be less boring to you? Because my idea synapses have been firing in very random ways. And there have been things that have popped up where it's just like maybe a seed for an idea. So you can let me know what territory you want me to go in. I don't have anything that's boot related or e-commerce or anything like that, but I do have things that are a little bit more computery, but then I also have other things that are more like tactile eating. Ooh, do you want food?
I do want food.
You do want food. Do you want a meal or do you want a snack?
Ooh, a snack.
Okay, so this is a really fun one. So I don't know, Louise, if you go to see a lot of movies in the theater.
I'm not going to lie. Since having a baby and she's 4, I've seen 2 movies in the theater. And goodness. One was a Fathom experience where they like record a opera or a play.
Got it. Right.
And then they show it in the theater. So one of them was that and the other one was Wicked. But I saw Wicked twice.
Okay. So Wicked is a bit of an outlier because that movie is going from second one. And there's not a lot of like, nuancy moments where snacking in a theater can become complicated because that's where I'm going with this. Okay. So I love going to the movies. I
love it too. I want to do it more.
I know. Going by myself to go see a movie is one of my like true joys in the world. And it's just, I don't know, very comforting for me. And a lot of times when I go see a movie in a theater, it's because it's the type of movie that I don't want to watch at home. And so maybe it is something where I'm going to be like emotionally pulled into it. And a lot of times those are movies where there might be some like silence and tense moments. And when I have a little thing of popcorn with me, or somebody's got like something with a wrapper that they have to open, you do not want to make noise at an inopportune time. And that's why I feel like there should be, and maybe this is like certain screenings, like not every movie, because for some people this might be distracting, but like next to the screen, and I'm not talking about anything bright, but like a traffic light system. So very a subtle off to the side kind of a thing where when it's green, by all means, now is a good time to snack away. When it's yellow, it's getting close to be time when you're going to want to put your snacks down. Red, do not snack.
Don't do it.
Back to yellow from red, you can get ready to get your snacks.
Or maybe if it is in true traffic like fashion, when you're stopped at a red light, they don't flash a yellow and say, get ready to go. They just make it green again and say, okay, snack. Drive your car.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, the thing that I think would be a downside to this is if you want to just let yourself over to the movie and want to be surprised by the flow of how things are going, that could be one thing. But also it's like, I feel like it would have to be faint enough where you wouldn't notice it unless you were looking for it. Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's a necessary thing. I want to have a moment where it's just like, no, stop down. Do not touch that
Yeah.
popcorn.
You could even for like accessibility purposes, colorblind people, you could have like thumbs up, and then you could have like ellipsis, and then you could have no.
Well, also, if it's traffic light style, then you know kind of the order
Yeah,
in which.
yeah.
But if that's also complicated, then there could also be kind of like how there's the walk signs, and one of them is just
Yes.
like a person walking. The other one could be like a popcorn kernel.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. I like this.
it's
I
fun,
will
right?
say it's great. I will say because of the times I have chosen to see the movies that I've gone to since the pandemic and the birth of my child.
Right.
The very first one, it was just me in the theater. The second one, which was Wicked the first time, it was me and 2 other people. And then the third time, which is the second time I saw Wicked, and I brought my 3.5-year-old, she paid attention for 20 minutes and not cumulatively of a 2-hour and 40-minute movie.
It's a long movie.
There was one other family in there, and it was a teeny tiny like little cinema that was 5 floors, and the screen was not a huge movie screen, but there were like 20 seats in. They were all super crazy, amazing, comfortable, reclinery, like beautiful seats, but like the cinema area was like small. I am not at a movie like I used to go to the movies when it would be like a matinee at the AMC in Times Square.
Right.
And it was like, why are all of these people not at work? This theater is sold out on a Wednesday. Like, but yeah, I dig it. That's cool. It reminds me of like old timey studio audience, like applause.
Right. Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
When it's time to do that.
Yeah.
No snacking now.
Yeah. I'm glad that you're on board with my idea, because I think it should happen. If I were to ever run a movie theater, I would implement this and see how it goes. But you see a lot more lately that there are different types of movie screenings. There are ones with open captions. So if you are somebody who is deaf or hearing impaired, you can go to these. They have the captions up on the screen, and everybody who's going just knows that's the deal.
And they have like sensory inclusive.
Where the volume is turned down a little bit and the lights aren't completely down the way that they normally would be. So yeah. And then there's of course just like the more like ones that are tailored for, they call them mommy and me, but as a dad, come on, kid friendly.
That's right.
Please. Cause I'm the one that's going to be taking my kid to a movie. And also
Caretaker
now she's,
in me.
yeah. And now my kid is more capable of going to see a movie and not be going, bananas the whole time.
Yeah. They also, speaking of Wicked, sing-along screenings.
Right. Yes.
Here are the ones where you can live your dreams.
Well, I think that for Wicked, a sing-along screening is necessary because it implies that the ones that aren't don't sing.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. It's rude.
Kinda.
Very. Okay, so I saw Wicked and I didn't know any of the songs or anything like that. And if somebody started singing, I'd be like, no.
I paid to hear
these people. Right. It's kind of like I went to a concert years ago, and, there are people who, kind of sing along at concerts. But there was somebody behind me who was singing along to a concert. And it's the kind of artist who doesn't sing the song the same way twice. And so they're singing it the like album way, the person like behind me, and the person singing is doing it in their performative way. And it's just like, you are ruining this experience for me so freaking hard, dude.
Another way that performances are ruined for me, I work with this woman, and she describes herself as just happy when she is singing along to the Spotify.
Okay.
And I would describe her as worse than tone deaf.
Oh, no.
And when I sing along, as a person who is a singer, sometimes I don't know that I'm doing it. Like, am I following along in my head, or is it coming out my mouth? Oh, it's my mouth. Like, but it's not painful to those around me to hear bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
Because it matches.
You got to read the room.
She's just happy.
Yeah. I feel like when you are the type of person who likes to sing along with things, first of all, reading the room is very important, but also like err on the side of no one wants to hear you and you're not the only person around.
That's right. Always.
Yeah. If you are in your car, you're by yourself, by all means.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, Louise, as we've been doing the past few episodes, I again scrolled through Kickstarter and I found somebody who I think has a pretty great idea. Shall we give them the floor?
Let's give them the floor.
Since I was younger, I would always see my dad grab napkins from the local fast food restaurant, old shirt or a rag, before we go to the gas station. And I always wondered why till I got older. The reason he did that is because the germs that are on a gas pump. And I went further in doing research, finding out that doctors, germologists, people say that a gas pump is 7 to 10 times more dirtier than a public restroom. And we all know public restroom is very disgusting. So I decided to search out and see if there's other people like myself. And the studies that came back were immense. So, walk with me. We went to the gas station. I wondered if there could be something that can prevent you from touching the gas pump. And so with that, I created the gas glove. The gas glove is the first patented in 2023 device that allows you to walk into the gas pump, put it on for one step, grab it, and pump without ever having to touch the gas pump. The amount of germs I didn't encounter have been mind-blowing. So I'm asking you guys to help me back to make the gas glove go from Houston, Texas to worldwide.
All right. What do you think?
I am so freaking on board. It is unbelievable.
Yeah, so this is on Kickstarter. It has a week to go at the time that we're recording this, and it has only raised $225 out of the pledged $26,000. As he mentioned, it's out of Houston, Texas. I'm not seeing the name of the guy who was just speaking, but I wish him the best. And it seems like he's got a really well-informed, laid out plan on Kickstarter, which we'll link to in the show notes here.
He's got a snappy name. He's
Gas
got
glove, yeah.
a great prototype.
Yeah.
I would buy one.
It's simple.
Yep.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I am not a user of a gas automobile. I've gone electric a few years ago, and honestly, if I never touch a gas pump again, it'll be only a good thing. I do not want to feed that industry, or also get my hands covered in all that bacteria, like Mr. Gas Glove was just saying.
Mm-mm. The electric car industry has been and continues to make incredible leaps and bounds. We purchased our car in 2018 and decided on a gas guzzler because of the distance that was required for us to drive and the technology at the time with an electric car.
Sure.
And also we lived in Manhattan, and it's like
a world of difference.
Yeah. The places now we live in a house. We could put a charging station in our garage.
Yeah.
In Manhattan, not the case. But yeah, we keep spray hand sanitizer in the car. Even after I spray my hands with it and rub it down, I feel like I also now need to wipe the steering wheel.
Sure.
Because did it really kill all of the germs on my hands? I also just want to be totally transparent and say the pandemic truly did rewire my brain.
Totally.
Because I used to ride the subway and hold the subway pole to meet up with friends, and then go to Central Park and open a bag of popcorn and stick my hand right in and not think twice. And I am not that person anymore. And I think sans pandemic, I could still be that person.
Yeah.
5-second rule when you drop it on the ground or whatever, food, like it's fine. But germs from other people. No.
Well, also, we are now living in a world where we know a pandemic can happen again. And especially if we don't have responsible people in the government who can help us prevent that or treat it when it comes about, then what are we going to do?
What are we going to do?
And Louise, let me tell you this. Pre-pandemic, for my entire life, do you know what terrible habit I had?
Let me have it.
I was a fingernail biter.
Oh, friend, me too. Look at these.
Once that pandemic hit and the fear of putting my fingers near my face came about, I haven't done it since.
Good for you. I totally stopped. And then, it was probably when I went back to work after I came back from maternity leave. I broke a fingernail.
Oh.
And then I don't know why it happens. Someone once told me I bite my nails out of spite. But it's like I didn't have a file.
For what or for whom?
I don't know. But I didn't have a file or a clipper, and I didn't know what to do. So then I washed my hands thoroughly, but then I bit it to make it perfect. And that train is never stopping.
No.
That you can't get it perfect. You continue to bite. It's a mess. I will say though, these are my anxiety fingers.
Yeah, if you're watching on Spotify, you can see the video feed.
But these are pandemic fingernails.
Wow. So you've gotten down to just 2 fingers that you give yourself permission to do.
And don't think that I don't wash them. Like it's subconscious, but it's also I'm going to wash my hand because I need this.
Right. Oh my goodness. I think that's like the one singular benefit for me pandemic has been that it helped me kick this like habit that I've always hated that I had. And I mean, yes, there have been other benefits. I feel like working from home has been another one that's come up where it's like we figured out how to do it out of necessity, and it gave us the push to be able to do that. And I feel like return to office orders are complete nonsense and ridiculous.
Same.
And you know what? I only because it's coming up naturally, and I know that I'm the one that brought it up. I do have one other idea that I want to mention.
Let's have it.
Yeah. Okay. So this is a work from home motivation tool. So I'm a contractor, so not like a contractor like for building shit, but like I do contract work in podcast production, media production, things like that. jrmediaservices.net if you want to hire me. And so I have a little app on my computer that is a timer so that I can track my time for my clients. But I was thinking, how cool would it be if I had a little like a device that plugs into, maybe it's like a USB device that plugs in next to my computer, and it's like an old fashioned like taxi cab ticker system. Like clocking in. But here's the thing. You program in how much you are making per hour, let's say, and you start that ticker when you start working, and it shows you how much you are making second by second. So it's a motivator tool to be like, oh, you can hit, the next $100 mark if you just, keep on going a little bit longer. And so I feel like to have that tool is a great motivator. Plus also, how satisfying are those little taxi cab tickers?
So great.
Yeah. Like the old, not like a digital one. I'm talking about the slat flap style Vesta board. Yeah. I know you have a Vesta board. The train station, old fashioned. Oh, so satisfying. I love it.
Good. Yeah. It's so good. I love this. You know what else I think it's important to maybe call out a little bit? I'm super type A, high achieving, people pleasing. Mm-hmm. I feel like there are aspects of that you share. When I was in office, I worked with someone who did everything in their power to not actually work when we were in the office.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a lot of things that people who are like, we need to get everybody back in the office are like pushing for is the productivity you are describing at working from home, but not realizing probably half of your employees are purposefully trying to waste time in the office.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Whereas at home, because you have like the freedom to multitask, if you happen to be good at that, you can put a load of laundry in, you can come back, you can clock into your taxi thing, you can pause it, you can switch your laundry over to the dryer, you can then clock back in. And like now it's like you're kind of doing both, and it's a balanced thing that you don't get in the office.
Well, it also works in a second way where if you are just like, okay, I am going to go get a cup of coffee, take a little break, you can set that on and say, by going and getting that coffee, I didn't make this much money.
Right.
Yeah. So there's that too.
Yeah. I like it. That's cool.
Somebody develop it.
Side note, do you know what a tidbit is?
A tidbit. Tell me.
Yeah. Okay. I think that they may be like going out of business or discontinuing, but it's like a little console alarm clock.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's like you can...
TIDBYT or something like that?
Something. And they're the coolest things. And I made a countdown for our vacation. So like every now and then it pops up.
Oh, you have one?
Oh, we have one. Yeah. And we tried to buy one as a gift for somebody, and it was like, there's no more. And we were like, what do you mean there's no more? So it leads me to believe that maybe they aren't doing it. But it's just such a cool little thing that...
Yeah, I'm on their website. It says sold out.
Yeah. Wait, why was I talking about tidbits?
Well, I feel like
just like a little motivational thing that you can throw up to like...
Throw up.
Well, like... take your lunch. Like sometimes because I am like type A and I just want to finish the task, and I know if I keep doing it, oh my God, all of a sudden it's 4:00 and I haven't eaten since breakfast. Like sometimes it would be nice to have like a little thing to be like, ding, 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 you need to go now, eat lunch. That's all. Just like the cool tech behind that you can have that just is silly, but also necessary for your well-being.
Yeah. I just went on Facebook Marketplace and I searched for Tidbit, and I live in Portland, Oregon. There's somebody in Bend, it's 120 miles away, who's selling one for $130.
Wow.
Yeah. They go for $200 new.
Well, if you can get it new.
If you can get it new. Yeah, I wonder what's going on with them.
Yeah. But we love it. Like, we took a picture of Lark's gingerbread house. Oops. Mm-hmm. Maybe we can cut that out.
Sure.
We took a picture of my daughter's gingerbread house, and it pixelated on the Tidbit and was so cute. And we liked looking at it, and it was a fun, cute thing. Anyway.
So you can put a photo on there and it just gives you like a pixelated version of it?
Yeah. Isn't that funny?
Fun.
We did it with the Road Dog.
Oh, the Road Dog. So, yeah, I feel like these little desktop gadgets are really useful. Even just like if you're working from home, to have like something on there that just makes you feel better. It just makes it feel more comfortable for you. That goes a long way.
A long way.
Yeah. I have a confession to make, Louise. I failed to write down what you challenged me to on the last episode.
Okay, very abstract. Errands.
Oh, that's right. It was errands. Okay. Why don't you do your challenge first? And I'm going to see if I come up with something for errands in the time it takes.
Speed brainstorming. Okay, so you challenged me to a social media app. Right.
Yes, a replacement for the metaverse.
Okay, I didn't take it like that.
Go on.
Okay. The social media app that I came up with is called Action Distraction.
Ooh.
And you pair it to your smartwatch.
Okay.
If you happen to have one. And it helps you navigate real life situations.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we all know that Big Brother is listening, always, whether
We're recording a podcast and putting it out into the world.
Hey. So we know that Big Brother listens.
Mm-hmm.
Even when we toggle don't listen, I happen to live in a smart house, and if I say, hey, robot lady,
Yeah.
she messes with the lights if I ask her, or the stereo system, but she has to be listening so that if I say, hey, robot lady,
Yeah.
she knows to start. So she's listening, or he, whatever, Big Brother.
Yeah.
So as an example, I saw it was a tweet originally, but I saw it on social media that sparked this idea for me.
Okay.
Karen Kilgariff, hilarious.
Love her.
Love, was at a party.
She was a guest on my first podcast. I think she was episode 2
Wow.
back in 2011.
Wow. Love her.
Pre My Favorite Murder.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Go on.
What was the car one with
Oh, Do You Need a Ride? I think she still
Do You
does
Need
that.
a Ride? I loved that one. Okay,
Yeah.
Anyway, Karen Kilgariff, she tweeted about being at a party and then somehow got stuck in a corner having conversation with strangers that she just couldn't exit the conversation and didn't know how to do it, and realized she had a banana in her purse
Oh,
and took it out
Yes.
and was like, sorry guys, I gotta get this.
Yeah.
Hello? And then walked away with the
Genius.
banana as if it was a phone. Okay, the app of Action Distraction listens in on your conversation, and if it notices like your heart rate rise, or your like breathing change, or if like the tone of the conversation kind of flatlines, and like, you know, sometimes you get really excited and your voice goes up or something. If it is flatlining on enthusiasm and it reads that, it will like call you.
okay.
So that you can be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. It's my mom. I have to get the phone. Excuse me 1 second. And you can leave.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like that.
Action Distraction.
Yeah.
So that the people around you don't think that you're horrible, but also you're not trapped.
Well, another way to do it, because everything is listening all the time, could be to program in a phrase. So if you say, oh, that sounds so amazing, it triggers the fake phone call.
Yeah.
But I like, you know, I guess that's for if you don't have like a smart watch that's, you know, synced up with like your heartbeat.
Sure. I mean, that was just an example. Like a different example could be it's listening to a conversation about, you know, cute baby animals.
Right.
And you pull out your phone to like try to find the thing that was a targeted ad to you about baby animals. And of course you can't find it because that's how the algorithm works. But it listened and it knew. So it's going to scroll your history and find it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And then it can like be like, it's this. And then you can show the cute baby animals that you were just talking about.
Right.
Without wasting the time.
Sure.
Trying to find it.
I like that.
That was my challenge. It was just some kind of app.
No, I like it.
And you can connect it to your friends too. Like, how many times did the app save you this week? No way, John, it saved you twice. It saved me only once.
No, I do like that. That's kind of fun. I like that a lot.
Okay.
All right, I got something for errands.
Wow.
Okay.
Impressive.
Thank you. So, my first thought as soon as we launched into this was gamifying it, but I think that just generally incentifying the idea of running errands makes sense. Personally, I really enjoy running errands. It's the only way that gets me out of the house and like out doing stuff. And I know that after we finish recording, I need to go like grocery shopping and things like that. And
Same.
yeah, I mean, like my kid's having a friend over tomorrow, and I'm like, I gotta get plenty of snacks because I have no idea what to expect. And then of course the big football game is the next day, so it's like, snacks are gonna be necessary. So anyway, I feel like something that would be cool, and you'd have to partner with, I mean, unfortunately, it would be like a major corporation, someplace that you enjoy going, maybe, let's say Starbucks, for example, because they do all sorts of incentivization, gimmicks and stuff like that. And sure, I don't know. I don't go there, but like, I know that they have like, rewards cards and things like that. So, and the way that all works is like, by getting rewards, it means that you have to go there to redeem them. And it's likely that you're going to be spending more money than what the reward is. So you're going there on an unplanned trip, perhaps, and giving them money that you otherwise wouldn't have given them. Anyway, by incentivizing errands, if you are linking it to your like Starbucks account, let's say, then you go in and let's say there's like a 3-hour window. If you go in, check into like geographic, like geotagging, like it understands that you're actually at the place going to get gas and using your gas glove. And then you go to the grocery store and then you go to Target. It will know, okay, within this time span, you have done things that qualify as running errands, and it will give you a certain amount of points on like your Starbucks card, for example. So that's my idea for errands.
That's cool. And I will say that whole idea makes me very sad for the residents in Los Angeles. Because in New York City, boy, you could really rack up some points. Because there were days in life where I went to the dry cleaner, the butcher, the grocery store. I dropped off my compost at like a community compost thing. I knocked out a lot of stuff. And when I moved to Los Angeles, I think I can't remember, Garmin?
Sure.
It's okay.
The GPS company?
Yes. It would be like, you can drive there in 20 minutes. And I was like, great, I'll do this errand. That makes sense for today. Little did I know, as a dumb New Yorker, that then that time just keeps ticking up.
Oh,
keeps ticking up. Now in the world of like Google and Apple Maps, it is anticipating the length of travel.
Sure.
So it's more accurate than more than 10 years ago. But
sure. Yeah.
I just didn't get as many things done because they were more spread out.
Got it.
And that makes me feel like New Yorkers would kill it. They would be all over that jazz.
Yeah. I mean, even where I live in Portland, I walk 2 blocks down the street. I've got 2 different grocery stores. I've got the hardware store. I have like everything that I need to do to run errands. There's dry cleaners. There's all that kind of stuff. So it's like, I could knock all that stuff out pretty quickly. And also it depends on where you are living, because also, even if you are out in the burbs, there could be a strip mall that has all of the things in the same way that like in New York, you would have been able to knock out one thing after the next.
Yeah.
And so yes, this could be more difficult in a place that's more rural, but
or just America.
It's a different
general
way of living altogether.
Yeah. I was watching this like 2-minute documentary series.
2-minute documentary series.
It was less than 5 for sure.
Okay.
And one of the things that was the focus of this, one documentary was how American zoning has really crippled the walkability of cities in a way that like is just non-reversible, it feels like, based on the way that buildings have been built in the past 50 years.
Yeah.
Versus European cities or a place like Boston, Philadelphia, New York, where it's like not a grid and was based on like tinier communities that did have walkability. I mean, I guess as I say it out loud, even Los Angeles, when I lived I like cusped on WeHo and a different neighborhood, like I walked a lot and it really wasn't that far to like go get a smoothie or a breakfast sandwich or to, go get my dog some treats or like it was still totally walkable within like a smaller little section of community. And I think that in that 120 seconds, I learned a lot.
Yeah. So I feel like the whole idea of running errands, it's certainly a whole mindset because I enjoy running errands. I feel like I have a different approach to it than some other people who look at it as being like, and I've got to do this and that. For me, somebody who works from home, it's my way of like experiencing the world. And so I'm not around other people usually. And so to be able to go out and like be around other people is enriching in a way. And I feel like there are a lot of times when I am by myself at home and I'm just like, why would I ever want to go out and do anything? And then like I go out and I overhear like a conversation. And I'm just like, I'm so glad that I went out, because otherwise I never would have overheard this ridiculous conversation. And I know I'm going to talk about it to this person, and that person, and it's going to be so much fun. And so errands afford me the opportunity to have that balance in my life.
Sure. I was going to say, have you heard of errand dates?
No, but I like it.
It's bigger in like, again, sexist, but like mom communities.
Sure.
Where instead of meeting up for lunch, you meet up with your laundry basket of unfolded clothes, and instead of it sitting on the spare bed for a week, you meet up.
For a week?
Spare
bed?
Yeah, right. Well, or couches. I don't know how
Yeah.
people do it, but there's like memes of like, it takes 30 minutes to do the laundry and it takes 1 week to fold it and put it away. Or,
right.
So it's like you go and you meet up with a friend with your laundry basket, like at that person's house, instead of going to get a coffee or walking through Walmart together or what have you. You are productive while you chat. And then it's kind of like when the task is over, then that's like you're out. Because another thing that's kind of weird in my what's being served to me algorithm is people chatting a lot about getting trapped in a social situation. Like I went to...
You just brought one up before.
Well, right. But see, it's being served to me, and it's what's on my brain sizzling. But it's like somebody will come over to your house for a play date with your kid at like 11 a.m. and all of a sudden you're ordering sandwiches because now they're staying for lunch and now it's getting dark and the children are getting along, but when are these people going to leave your house because you needed to do laundry and you don't want to be rude to your guests who you may have met through like daycare.
Yeah.
It's weird because it's not a true friendship, but it's an emerging.
Sure.
But it's like there's no timeline and you don't want to kick them out. So it's like errand dates to give you, like, instead of a coffee, like when the coffee is gone, then you say goodbye, or I don't know, but it's like an errand is like a clear meet, productivity, ending.
I like it.
Yeah. Ooh. Okay, so this time, write it down.
I'm going to do it right now. So what are you challenging me to?
Okay. I am speaking specifically in clothing, but if you are inspired, change it.
Okay.
The challenge is layers.
Layers. Ooh. Okay. I am going to write down clothing layers.
Okay.
I have written it down.
I just didn't want to box you in.
I appreciate that. Okay. So my idea for you, I know that it's been snowy out where you are on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm.
So I want you to come up with a new snow day activity.
Okay. I just want you to know,
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday we were having inclement weather,
Okay.
and they closed all of the schools, which meant daycare was closed.
Right.
And we got a little bit of ice in the morning, and by about 10 a.m.
That's how it always happens.
Yes.
Melted.
And then you mentioned snacks and the big football game.
Right.
And in the next 8 hours, we're supposed to get like a solid 8 hours of precipitation
Oh.
in freezing weather. So that could mean snow that sticks, or
Right.
it could mean 8 hours of snow that doesn't stick.
Yeah.
And we're like, should we invite my mom over to our house
Just in
to
case.
spend the night
Yeah.
in case we're all snowed in? We better get some snacks.
Absolutely.
So we
Yeah.
also need to do that. But it's wild the way that we can put a man on the moon and yet weather. Can't put a pin in that. Unpredictable.
Unpredictable. And those who
Even
try.
when we try.
And those who try, I mean, seldom succeed, I think.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually did see something recently, and this was somebody speaking specifically about the Pacific Northwest and why, and they explained why it is so hard to predict winter weather. And it has so much to do with like the Pacific Ocean and the way that the mountains are around here and how that impacts things. And it's like, yeah, we're getting better at it. There are better tools now, but it is really hard to predict exactly what's going to go on. So like, bear with us, but like, this is not an easy task by any means. Like,
No,
there's
and
nothing.
we're not helping
yeah.
ourselves.
No, not at all.
We're making it more unpredictable.
Absolutely.
And when I say we, I mean at least one or two generations before me that didn't think.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, please, if you have great ideas, email us, greatideapod@gmail.com. Give us a call. Leave us a voicemail on our Great Idea hotline, 304-804-IDEA. That's 304-804-4332. We can't wait to hear from you. We'll play them on the show. We'll talk about them. Check out the gas glove on Kickstarter. We're going to put a link in the show notes.
Into it.
Yeah. I'm just reading the describer of the person here. Oh, I do have a name. Joshua Truby.
Joshua.
So Joshua,
great idea.
Good on you, man. Way to go. Best of luck. There's not a lot of time left to raise a lot of money. So hopefully people listening will be inspired to contribute. And this says, family man, Houston native, born and raised, follower of Christ, enterprise software sales. And then a quote, one idea away can change your life forever. Oh my God.
Inspiring.
Well, anyway, thank you all for listening. And Louise, as always, thanks for hanging out with me.
Thanks for hanging out with me.
I don't see it happening.